Typical black woman, never know what she's talking about. See, this is what I'm saying right here. This Hebrew Israelite movement, ladies, this ain't what y'all want. They don't love us. They don't respect us. They don't care about us. See, if you agree with them, then they'll be nice to you, at least for a while. But if you start to make up your own mind and actually read all 66 of the books in context and realize that they are not saying that transatlantic slave descendants are the true Jews, now's the problem. Now I never know what I'm talking about. This is a racist, misogynistic, sexist statement. This movement hates black women.
What you're describing is you'll act right when you feel like it.
I don't
Buy a dog, cat, die alone, because no man deserves to suffer you.
All the praises and the honor goes to Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai Bahashem, Recha HaKodash, and double honors to the elder apostles and elder bishops of Great Millstone. Honors as well to you, brethren. Shalom to you, few sisters, and shalom to the hopefully elect. Peace to you. I want to touch on this video concerning this so-called black woman who says that Israelites are misogynistic and they hate black women. Right? Now, there's no doubt in my mind that there's no brothers who follow the Israelite movement who has any kind of hate towards our women. Now, Amos 5:15 says, hate the evil, but love the good. Scriptures also says the Lord hates sinners, right? So we follow in the footsteps of the Lord. Now, what's intriguing about this woman, this black woman agent, it seems like she's an agent. When we get on black men and we go in on black men, us at Great Millstone, we get in even on other camps in correcting them. It's no problem. We don't hear anything about we hate then. As long as you curse the black man out, as long as you rebuke the black man for his wrongdoings, it's not hate, right? But when we get on the black woman and rebuke her for her doings, now all of a sudden is hate. So when did hate become an issue when it came to correcting? You know, like the children that are supposedly disciplined and they haven't been disciplined, so they don't know exactly what true love really is. So that's weird to me that this woman, all of a sudden, because we tell the sisters, this is not the way to behave. Don't behave that way. You're going off. You can't be wearing these skimpy things and parading yourself around brothers and things like that, you know. That's all hate all of a sudden. Waking you up to your nationality, and you look at all the other women on the planet, and then you see yourself at a distinction between how everybody else behaves, how mostly everyone else dress, with excluded some here or there, but for the most part with those when you're dealing with the Middle East or wherever else. And you can clearly see the difference between the actions here and the actions in other places. So I don't understand where the hate comes from when it comes to correcting. Now, this is just not being Hebrew Israelites. These are women popping up everywhere saying black men don't love you. Well, okay. You've already found out that nobody else does. But she said something about the transatlantic slave trade didn't exist in Deuteronomy 28, but at the 48th verse says, thou shalt have a yoke of iron upon thy neck, right? The 68th verse, she can't see that that's slavery. Although it's any kind of thing that's harsh, we also know come from the Lord. All slaveries come from the Lord. But for whatever reason, this has nothing to do with us. See, that's where the hate comes. The hate comes from those Eves that hate us. You know why you hate us? Because Jeremiah 4:22. You are wise to do evil, but to do good, they have no knowledge. As long as they can wear the stuff they wear, they can put on those apparels and do whatever they, to get all the attention, seek all the glory. That's why a lot of these Eves fall out, they miss the attention. They miss the lust and the desire of other jakes, hollering at them, giving them that attention. Genesis 2:18, and the Lord power said, it is not good that man should be alone. I will make him and help meet for him. Right? So that was the sole duty of a woman. Well, let's look up the word woman. She says we're misogynistic, but let's see what the real definition is. It says adult. This is the online etymology. Anybody can Google it or just go straight to the online etymology. It says adult female, woman man, woman, right? Wife man, plural, woman, female, servant. Wife, woman, servant. That's what it says. So she claims that a woman must have her own mind. That's society. Society teaches that. Okay, you can have your own mind. But I thought we was all joined to one flesh. And in the flesh, the man is the head of that flesh. Right? So sure, you have your own mind. Would you want to cook? Right? But they'll get on us to talk about women cooking, right? But the pipe burst in the house or the tire is flat. Oh, now you're supposed to do your duties as a man. See, what you see here is an example of selective feminism. Same damn thing. We can get on the black man and there's no hate coming out of our mouth then. We get on the black woman and all of a sudden there's hate all of a sudden. Yeah. Let's go to Isaiah. I'm not going to make this long. Isaiah 3:16. Moreover, the Lord saith, because the daughters of Zion are hardy and walk and stretch with stretched forth necks and wanton eyes, walking and minceling as they go and making tinkling with their feet. You got to know, even in the ancient times, you had these simpletons. There's a short word for simpleton, who has uplifted Eve, right, and put them on a pedestal and told them all these things. If everything was in righteousness, Eve is going to follow what the man said. So they don't want to accept that men are the leaders. But let every man say, you know what, those spandies and all that stuff that you're wearing is disgusting. And we're not attracted to it. We're only attracted to long, flowing dresses, not the ones that show all your curves, but, modest apparels. Guarantee you, woman will try that, But as long as you got the rap music and the R&B and pushing that image out there and the feminism, well, you're going to have these problems. Let's look up haughty. It means to be exalted, lofty, which means high, on high. Exalted. That's what we're in today. The exalted Eve, man, up on high levels. We're going to get a scripture in the Bible. She says the Bible, and she's read all the books. Well, where did she learn that the slavery in Deuteronomy 28 was not our captivity? It had nothing to do with us. Wonder where she learned that. Was it vocab Malone? She still learned it from a man, and probably a white man. Probably a white man. Anyway, wanton means ogling, right? Look up ogling. It means glances with design to attract and notice. You notice when all of them do these vids, even a Hebrew Israelite woman, you notice how they can't accept not having certain things on that doesn't appeal to the eye of men and attraction, because that's what they want to do. That's women. Gino Jennings just did a video saying that the women, the way they're dressing and the way they're behaving is not the way they should dress. I can't say what he said. All the men, the simps, sitting there with their wives and their big red lips and everything else, saying, we can't understand why this is this way. Women have their own mind. This is how they should dress. They can dress and do whatever they want to do. But meanwhile, a woman can walk down the street, right? Cleavage showing, print showing, crack out, no problem. Let a man walk down the street with his rod hanging out, right? Not meaning to be graphic, tight and showing all his genital area. And a woman walks up, they're gonna call him a creep. If she's with her daughter, that's a creep. He shouldn't be dressing like that. But a man with his son walking up and see a woman like that, oh, that's considered beautiful. You see how it goes? This is a wicked society, and it's all about uplifting Eve, man. It's the queen of heaven's spirit, as Jeremiah 44, I believe, says. Going into Babylon, man. It's all the queen of heaven. Wanton means resistant, to control, willful, right? Wanting, lacking, deficient. Now, there is a book in the book of Titus, the 2nd chapter, that talks about the aged woman and the young woman, okay? So now, if Eve followed the scriptures, and Jake, if we followed the scriptures according to the way they should be followed, what would be happening right now? Because there's so many doctrines, there'd be confusion. But they wouldn't get that attention. That's the problem. They desire, the ability to take a man's spirit and suck all his life out of him, man. Tell you, Jakes, don't ever get caught up with that stuff, man. I know it's hard sometimes, but don't get caught up with that. Let's go to Ecclesiastes 26:14. A solid and loving woman is a gift from the Lord, and there is nothing so much worth as a mind well instructed. Well, she would say this is not canonized. Canon goes back to the word light, right? Authorized. But what's wrong with this scripture? You see how they took things out? This wouldn't fit their narrative, right? This wouldn't let them be free to roam and control. When clearly, as we read in Genesis 2, you were meant for a helpmeet. You wasn't meant to lead. But that's what these Jakes want, man. Some of you Jakes, your confidence so low, right? You don't have the qualifications to humble a woman. And this is what you do, right? This is all you do. Simp out. A shamefaced and faithful woman is a double grace, and a continent mind cannot be valued. As the sun, when it ariseth in the high heaven, so is a beauty of a good wife in the ordering of her house. So there's an order. Ordering of her house. 1 Corinthians 7, Yahweh, Yahweh, man, woman, children. Pets, whatever else you got under the bottom. This is why this is all confusing. Have your own mind. You know what happens when you have your own mind? It's fine to have your own mind when it comes to doing things that's womanly duties. But you should be under the order of a man. And you Jakes that got these women, right, under order, understand this is Babylon. There's no guarantee. There's no guarantee. But you're supposed to be in the mindset of humbling them to have the ability to be able to do these things. If you think you're just going to roll around and do whatever you want to do, you ain't going to put things in subjection. I'm trying to keep it clean. But this is what happens. And a lot of these Eves try to mess with these men that they can control, and they simps. So you know what the scriptures also say. A woman, when she maintaineth her house, she's full of prudence and much reproach. So apparently this woman here had to have messed with a Jake in the truth, and he lost her, because a lot of you Jakes in the truth, you pamper them, you sit them up on high pedestals, and then when they want that control, you've been broken down, and you give them that control, and then you lose your power, man. And that's exactly what happened. I don't know the situation with this woman, nor do I care. But the question is, do we hate our Israelite woman? Absolutely not. In fact, we love the sisters. There's sisters that support us. There's sisters that's respectful. And we also know that there will be more sisters waking up to the truth. And no weapon like this shall prosper. Anyway, that's all I have on that. Shalom.